Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Layla, and today I'm going to be talking about the inevitable question that will come up in many medical school interviews every year, which is, why medicine?
Why medicine?
Why do you want to do medicine and not another healthcare profession? Okay, I think there's a lot of people that freak out a bit about this question, including myself in the past, and I kind of just want to debunk reasons why you might be freaking out about it, kind of address them. So I think the things that make people really wound up about this question are that they don't want to give a generic answer, and secondly, they don't think, or maybe they don't know how to vocalize kind of the differences between being a doctor and being, for example, a nurse or a physician associate or any number of other healthcare professions. And before I talk about those more in depth, I just want to stress that while this is something you should think about, don't overly stress about it. Don't spend too much time kind of thinking about what you're going to say. Definitely don't script your answer, because they want it to come off natural, and if you're truly passionate about it, which you probably are if you've put in all the work to get to that interview, believe me, I know how difficult it can be. Don't be over preparing for it. Don't kind of like memorize an answer and be that ready that you're kind of robotic about it. So yeah, let's address the generic answers thing first. So people don't want to give generic answers. Unfortunately, this is one of those questions that most of them will be quite generic. Unless you have had a stint in hospital, you've got an illness or a disability that's caused you to kind of be around it a lot, or you've got a family member in a similar position, and so you've kind of seen firsthand the work that doctors do. If you don't have that kind of epiphany moment, it can be difficult to kind of put together a cohesive answer that's still impressive and makes you stand out. And just first off, it's fine to be a bit generic about it. They just want to get kind of a good idea that you're aware of why you want to do it, and not just, oh, I got 5 A's. You know, if you've read This Is Going to Hurt, like Adam K, definitely don't just go into medicine because you've got the grades that you need and you kind of can't think what else you want to do, because it's not a forgiving profession. So hopefully you'll have an idea of why you want to do it. Personally though, I knew I wanted to do it before I knew exactly why I wanted to do it, or maybe it was just that I wasn't in a place where I'd reflected that much that I could put it into a kind of cohesive answer. And so there are a lot of different reasons you might want to be a doctor. Maybe you love science, you love human biology, and you're really interested in problem solving, and you love working with people and working in teams, all of that. And you can list off those reasons, and that's probably what most people do in an interview. But you need to go that extra mile and kind of decide why it is that you like those things, and also how you can relate them back to being a doctor. So for example, if you take problem solving, you can love problem solving, and then if that's your kind of driving force towards wanting to be a doctor, and you get a particular interviewer who's going to challenge you on that, not that many of them do, but if you just say, oh, I really like problem solving, and doctors have to problem solve when they're working to diagnose a patient, they could turn around and say, okay, but engineers problem solve, architects, project managers, a whole host of other careers that require you to problem solve on a daily basis and are centered around problem solving. And so if you can link in your work experience using my STAR video to help you, that would be a great start. Also to kind of know how those manifest in a kind of more medical way. So like, when I was on my work experience, I sat in on a multidisciplinary team meeting about patient cases, and I saw how they were able to take each different perspective and put it together to make a full picture, and from that they were able to diagnose. And that was a really great exhibition to me of teamwork and of problem solving and of using their own scientific knowledge and intuition and go off like that. That is a much more substantial answer than just, I really like problem solving and I think I would make a good XYZ. So I hope that explained it a bit, but yeah, just take each reason that you want to be a doctor and ask yourself why, and then have some ideas of experiences that you've had or things that you know about medicine from discussions that you've had with medics, and kind of put that into context. If you have had any specific epiphany moments that have been kind of really profound and have allowed you to kind of see firsthand what doctors do, then definitely talk about that, because it kind of shows that you have a more intimate understanding. Definitely talk about your work experience as well. And yeah, I hope that using the video that I'm going to link here and use it to kind of structure your answer in a more cohesive way. Okay, why medicine and why not any other healthcare profession like nursing, for example? I would say a lot of people forget that a lot of the things that doctors are doing, other healthcare professionals are also doing, and the kind of defining factors are things like leadership. You know, doctors are the ones who have to make the decisions, and so maybe you work really well under pressure. Doctors are in charge of teaching a whole host of other people, the junior doctors and the medics that come through their doors. One thing that I got wrong in my interviews was saying that I wanted to be involved in research, and that was kind of one of the defining reasons that I wanted to be a doctor and not a nurse. And I didn't realise that nurses are often also involved in research. So maybe it's that you want to lead a research team or a research project, or maybe it's that you want to kind of have your own thesis students that you supervise, that kind of thing. But make sure you get your facts right, because I didn't. Or it could be that you want to be a lecturer as well, and you want to kind of go into universities and talk to students about your specialty, because quite often it's kind of doctors and specialists and researchers and things like that that give lectures in medical school and to medical science students as well. So that's one thing you could mention, if it's the case. So for example, I see myself being a doctor who takes lectures in university and has like projects going on and is involved in research, all of that on the side of being a doctor, because I like staying busy and I like a challenge. That might not be you. The one thing to remember, the kind of defining thing, is that doctors are the ones making the decisions about patient care. So they're the ones that have to take in all this information from all these other healthcare professionals, the psychologists and the physiotherapists and there's so many, and come to consensus. And so that a doctor is a leader, as well as a team member, as well as everything else that a doctor does. So yeah, I hope that gives you some ideas on how to kind of flesh out your answer for why you want to do medicine. Things to avoid though. So if you're not prepared, you can fall into the trap of saying, I want to be a doctor because doctors earn more money. And that's one thing you should not do. Definitely don't say you want to be a doctor because you earn money. Also in the UK, like, there are a lot of careers that you can do that are going to earn you a lot more money. Go into finance if you're looking for the dough. Not really a valid point, but above all, it is not the most ethical, doesn't really give anyone a good idea of who you are or your insight into medicine or anything like that. One of the things that I stress most in my interviews was the kind of opportunity for continuous learning throughout your career, continuous professional development and that kind of thing. But you should make sure that you mention that you acknowledge that other professions also have continuous learning and stuff like that, because I mean, nurses can advance to become advanced nurse practitioners. Shocking. And you know, there's kind of different levels to any career, so please don't make out that doctors are the only ones that have kind of stepping stones. But I hope you found this useful in some sort of way. Please don't stress about it too much. It's really not that big a deal. It's just one of those questions that you can prepare for, so why wouldn't you? And you know, because so many medical schools use it, it's a valid use of your time, I would say. Have a think about it. Don't stress too much. Reflect. Always reflect. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you found this video useful in any way, shape or form. Let me know what else you guys would like to hear about, and yeah, see you in the next one.